So while heading over to the American Civil War Museum, I came across an old wooden bridge that goes across the James River. And on that bridge, they go into detail about the last 3 days in Richmond while the Confederates were evacuating it. So we're gonna walk across the bridge. Hopefully it holds up, and we're gonna learn a thing or two. So we're here at the Potterfield Memorial Bridge, and this is a bridge dedicated to the last 3 days in Richmond, Virginia during the American Civil War. So we're going to make our way across this wooden pedestrian bridge which goes over the James River, and along the way we'll learn a little bit more about Richmond's last few days in the American Civil War. So we're getting ready to cross the bridge, and just before we do, we're going to learn a little bit what's on the bridge. Along this bridge, the events of the first week in April 1865 when Richmond, the capital of the Confederacy, fell to the Union. So now it is Sunday, April 2nd, 1865, and Virginians are just learning of Robert E. Lee's defeat in Petersburg, Virginia. And here's our first quote here on the floor of the bridge. "It is absolutely necessary that we should abandon our position tonight." And that was Robert E. Lee to Jefferson Davis. "This war will end now. The young men's lives will be saved." Elizabeth Van Lew, who was a Union spy. And here's another quote. "Upon you is dissolved the duty of destroying your ships tonight." And that was the Confederate Naval Secretary. "And we may never meet again." The Reverend to his congregation. And the Confederate troops begin to evacuate the city upon the news of Petersburg falling to the Union. And here's another quote here. "Smith, I may feel like a woman, but I can act like a man," a wife says to her husband. And now it is Monday, April 3rd, 1865. "Sir, I think Richmond is burning. The sky is red." And that's a Union soldier's account to General Ripley upon seeing Richmond burn. And now evacuating troops are setting fires that are spreading throughout Richmond. "All over, goodbye, blower to hell." And that's a Confederate's account upon blowing the Mayo's Bridge. And here we're covering the last bridge over the James River. It is destroyed. I don't know if you can see it, but those stone pilings are remnants of an old Confederate bridge that was destroyed here. A Confederate account, "We had to run with all of our might. No soldiers could have crossed the bridge after we did." Such a cool view. And Richmond surrenders. Another Confederate account, "At daylight, the approach of Union forces could be plainly discerned. And the whole riverfront seemed to be in flames. I rode on with distinctly heavy heart and with a peculiar sort of feeling of orphanage. Better lay the whole city in ashes than give to the enemy one drop of aid and comfort." And that was a Confederate nurse. And Union forces are now occupying the capital. I am trying my best to try and stay out of these other people's way and be respectful. But now we're on Tuesday, April 4th. And the song, "On to Richmond," was ended. Richmond was now in the hands of the Federals, and that was an account from a Richmond citizen. And now, martial law is imposed on the city of Richmond. And now, we're at the point where President Lincoln visits Richmond. And this quote said by him, "You are free, free as air. You can cast off the name of slave and trample upon it." Now here's a pretty deep quote. "I know that I am free, for I have seen Father Abraham." African-American woman in the crowd after seeing Lincoln. And President Lincoln's words on the war, "Thank God that I have lived to see the end of this." And you should be sadly grieved to see the desolation of our beautiful city. So here we're just looking out over the James River, and you can see the modern-day highway. And just on the other side of that highway was Mayo's Bridge, and that was a main evacuation route for the Confederates. And that was one of the bridges that was blown here. Now you can see these stone pilings just out there. That's remnants of a Confederate bridge. And per that sign, it was an old railway bridge, so a main supply route. Now this bridge was also important because it brought Jefferson Davis into Richmond for the first time. It's pretty cool. That bridge right out there. And as you can see, this is what it would look like. The Confederates would set fire to military, tobacco, and cotton warehouses before evacuating over the Mayo's Bridge. And you see the Union soldiers in Richmond. And this is a little spoiler alert. We're actually going to see this building, the Tredegar Iron Works, in our next episode. So it did survive the burning of Richmond. That's really cool. And here's another piece of that railway bridge, and offering a different view, not on the suspect wooden bridge. Now, I'm not the most artistic person, but I'm having trouble figuring out why this is art. But who knows?